enormous redstone contraption creates an image so large that it can only be viewed on a Minecraft map. Seth Flip. Before he discovered Minecraft, Seth was a software engineer at Microsoft. You can check him out on his YouTube channel. Map display mechanics. The display determines which color of block The display determines which color occurs most often within each 2x2 block area and uses that one dot color for one pixel on the map. For example, a 2x2 area that contains 3 grass blocks and 1 stone block will appear green on the map. When you look at the display on the map, you'll see it's formed an image. The one shown in the example is a picture of Notch. Quite amazing, isn't it? Piston pixel changes. You can program several different images into the machine. Devices called piston loops arrange blocks in the display area until the image has been prepared. It can then be viewed on a map. You can change the image at the push of a button. When you hit it, the piston loops begin pushing new blocks into place, and the new image is ready to view on your map. It's the redstone's job to shift all of the piston loops around at the same time. This is done from a single button, making it an incredibly complex and incredible design. Super Stopwatch. This Super Stopwatch, created by JL2579 and Cube Hamster, is an amazing piece of redstone engineering. It can record time with the accuracy of a tenth of a second. Blink and you'll miss it. It uses a super fast memory array to record the numbers that are then displayed on a 4-digit display. This system uses the repeater lock function. When you hit the stop button, the repeaters lock the time that is currently on the display. When you hit the button again, the clock continues from that time. The repeater lock can process information very quickly. This is essential for a stopwatch, since it is recording units of time smaller than 1 second. Did you know? This kind of clock display is called a 7-segment display. Much like an LED clock in the real world, which has 7 LED segments for each number. This clock has 7 redstone lamp segments for each number. Decoder. The special memory array needs a special decoder to display the numbers using redstone lamp segments. This smart redstone component uses what's known as a slide system to display different numbers. The slide system pushes sets of solid blocks arranged vertically to save space into the path of constantly powered repeaters. Once a block is pushed onto place, the signal from the repeater is sent down a line of redstone that goes directly into the back of the corresponding segment of the display. But this system has one small drawback. Because the slide system then has to be pushed back up into its default position, it can't change fast enough to keep up with the super fast repeater lock memory array that drives it. So the tenths of each second are only displayed after the stop button is pressed. In summary, JL Stopwatch is a fantastic example of a high-end redstone machine. The concept isn't unique, but the way it delivers its timekeeping is. This is one of the most compact stopwatches ever created. Did you know? Stopwatches like this one have been used in numerous minigames and adventure maps from time-lapse and tasks set during the adventure. You can check out FV Disco's Sonic the Hedgehog map. It's a great example of a way that the game can keep track of time.
Yeah, Bucket?
Bucket. It's actually, I'm almost done with it. There's only a couple more pages.
Oh, man.
Don't worry, I still have the Survivor's Book of Secrets.
Oh, sweet.
Anyway. Gold Rush. Gold Rush is a redstone minigame that's big on fun. Control a villager in a minecart, leading him to several chutes to collect gold bars while avoiding the TNT that also drops into the chutes. It's explosive fun. The player stands on a platform and moves a minecart by stepping on and off a pressure plate. You can change the direction of the track using a lever. You can choose to play one of 3 levels of difficulty. TNT can fall in either 1, 2, 3, or 4 of the lanes. CNB, aka Nick Farewell, is based in the UK and is well respected for his redstone tutorials. Piston loops and 7-segment display scoreboard. All of the game information is stored in a piston loop. This is the selection of blocks that is continually moved around by pistons. The blocks turn redstone lamps on or off depending on which type of block is in play. Glass or a solid block. Glass doesn't allow a redstone signal to pass through it and so gives an off state, whereas a solid block does allow a signal to pass through, resulting in an on state. Tip: if you want to get high scores, play on the highest difficulty level. Redstone randomizer. This machine is used to randomize the chutes that the gold and TNT fall into, and it does this by detecting when a chicken runs onto a pressure plate. Every time that the chicken activates the pressure plate, the plate emits a signal which is sent to a piston loop. That controls which chute the TNT gold drops onto. It takes several chickens inside the randomizer to provide a high number and variety of drops from the chutes. In summary, the mechanism behind Gold Rush is a tangle of piston loops and logic gates. It uses clocks, pull shorteners, AND gates, NOT gates, transistors, and T flip-flops. It's a complex design, but when you break it down, it's simply a collection of common redstone components that have been linked in an incredibly clever way to create a powerful redstone machine. On to our final challenge, the Zombie Siege. Zombie Siege is a fun combat minigame. The player must defend his or her base from hordes of zombies that are lumbering toward it by firing at them with a bow and arrow and TNT cannons. Who said a zombie apocalypse couldn't be fun? The first few rounds are a nice and easy warm-up for the player, but once you hit double digits, the difficulty rapidly ramps up. At this point, your cannon aims has to be right on target if you want to survive. You can set the TNT cannons to 3 different ranges, allowing you to blow up zombies virtually anywhere on the map. You just need to load different amounts of propellant TNT into the cannon to control the range of the TNT block that's actually being fired. The cannon is controlled by 3 buttons, one for each range. They use the same piece of redstone dust to carry their separate signals. By placing each button one block further away from the cannon, the machine can determine how far the signal has traveled and therefore which button has been pressed. To Disco. Originally from the UK, Disco now lives in Australia. Despite their size and complexity, he works on most of his projects alone. This has made him a community legend and has a YouTube following of over 40,000 people. Did you know? In order to keep the zombies from catching fire in the sun or this game, V-Disco had to construct an enormous sheet of ice and position it in the sky above. That way the zombies couldn't catch on fire and ruin the game. The 7-segment level display. The level display shows you which round of the game you're currently playing. There are 99 rounds in total, but nobody has ever made it that far. Zombie controller. As in Gold Rush, the zombies are spawned randomly by a chicken walking over a pressure plate, which sends a signal to a dispenser and a mob egg. The number of dispensers increases with each level you pass, making there are more zombies to kill. To encourage the zombies to walk in the right direction, Disco uses villagers and minecarts under the floor. Zombies can send targets through solid blocks, even if they can't see them, and will head for the villagers. The minecarts carrying the villagers need to move fairly slowly so that the zombies don't lose interest. Disco has used wiggly tracks to slow the minecarts down. In summary, Zombie Siege uses the combination of TNT cannons and traditional weaponry, along with huge waves of marauding zombies to create this awesome minigame. The redstone circuitry behind the game involves some imaginative techniques. The variable range cannon was one of the first to be made and used in a game so successfully. The simple single-range version has since become the standard design for TNT cannons. Alright, this is the final page. The hints and tips. We spoke to the experts themselves to get their tips on working with redstone. Here's what the Mojang team had to say. Working with redstone can be frustrating, but stick to it. It's very satisfying to see your creation function as intended after all your hard work. If your redstone creation includes TNT, wait until everything else is placed before placing the TNT. It's far less dangerous that way. Try testing out your designs in creative mode before making them in survival. Building is more fun with friends. Your parents might come in handy too. Focus on getting your creations to work right before making them more compact or more attractive. We're still adding new features. Just because you can't do something doesn't mean you won't be able to do it in the future. Do not build redstone creations next to water. It'll mess up your plans, as water can wash away redstone dust. Alright, and that's everything. Thank you all for listening to the Minecraft Redstone Handbook. I hope you enjoyed it.
Absolutely fantastic.
And up next we still have the Survivor's Book of Secrets.
Ooh.